Good morning. You can see I just broke it, but you can see there's ice. And my shoes, I think they will thaw out over there, because we're not exactly going to be rushing anywhere. But my shoes have frozen. As soon as we get some sun. I didn't think of that last night. It was a bit silly because the temperature was supposed to drop to about 0. I should have put them at the back of the shelter. That would have given them a bit more shelter there. But they've completely. I mean, to be fair, I don't think it would take much to. Well, having said that, it would probably. Anyway, they are frozen, but I mean, it's not even 8 o'clock in the morning, and we're not, you know, the Hobbs ritual. We probably won't be gone until late morning, and we're going to have it's going to be a sunny day. I'm going to put I think I'm going to have a tea. Oh, I could do a pee too. I'm going to have a tea and a pee. And then I'll probably put my head back down again for a few minutes. So it's not even 8 o'clock yet. It's nearly 8. I think it's about 20 to 8. No, 20 to 7, sorry. No, it's 10 to 7. Yes, it's not even 7 yet. Oh, my nose is bunged up. Anyway, let's get this tea on. I've put the spare sealskin socks on because the ones I'm walking in, they're wet through, and the socks that I was wearing under them are also soaked because I use my trail shoes, because it's just at that temperature now where, to be honest, it's too warm for boots, and I had to cross 2 streams that I potentially would have flooded my boots, and drying boots out is an absolute nightmare. At least these have now defrosted, and because there's nothing to them, they won't take long to dry, but of course they're going to get soaked again out there. But they have now defrosted, so they're okay. I'll try and get a little bit of moisture out of these. They'll probably get wet again quite quickly. I think they're already marginally less damp than they were earlier. We're not in any rush. It's 9:30. We'll aim for 11:30, 12, something like that. I'd like to try and get going for 12, and then I think we'll get back quicker than we got here, because we'll be a fraction lighter, so that will help. And it's kind of mostly downhill, because coming here we had to go up one hill to get from camp sort of past Sharp Tor, and then it was kind of down a roundy bit and then up here. But to go back is really just downhill because obviously we're up high already. We've done the high bit, so it's downhill to the water, get soaked feet crossing the water, the roundy bit, and then up one hill to Sharp Tor, and then down the other side. So, and also you tend to be a bit quicker going back than you do coming. Close your ears. So yeah, so coming is usually quicker than going, or is it the other way around? I'm not quite sure. It depends how. Anyway, the Dartmoor ponies are just over there. We've been over to this stone and sort of looked at them. I've heard a couple of roars, and I've called her back, and she's come back. It's probably good that they're over there, that she can get used to them. So actually I ought to take a picture, didn't I? Yeah, where was I? Yeah, so I've put these on, just so they're dry for in camp, and then my feet don't get too cold. Probably would have been just as well off putting my booties on, or bringing down booties and putting them on. That would have worked too. But these are fine for in camp. And what I can do with this is, if I need to walk around camp, I can put these on now, which, yeah, they're still damp, but it would be more comfortable to put those on with dry just around camp, rather than obviously quite damp socks, just to go out around camp if I need to, which I may or I may not, I'm not sure yet. What I am going to do is I'm going to take this clip off, and I'm going to put it on the right shoulder strap here, and see how that goes for walking, with the camera strapped to me there. Okay, well, little update. I don't know what's happening. I'm slowly packing up camp, but I'm just waiting on this tour, because the mum had somehow she got downstairs when she should have been staying upstairs. She got carers 3 times a day. Bella, that's enough. And somehow she got downstairs and was found on the floor this morning. So they've called an ambulance. An ambulance is, I think, there now. But once I get off the hill, then I'm going to lose all signal. So I really just I'm just packing up most of the stuff. So if I need to get back, I can get back, although it's going to take, I don't know, upwards of 4 hours, 3-4 hours to get back. Probably 3 hours from here if you go, but it's going to take 3 hours to get back to the car, 2 hours home, plus the last bit of packing up, plus talking. I've spoken to social services because they're aware. I don't think that they will admit to Mum. I don't think she'll go in. I think that they will get her back on her feet and get her back up to her room. I think that's the most likely outcome, to be. I just noticed there's a red flag over there. I think they're firing on the range over there, but not the range over here. Bella! I think that's what she's been barking for a bit. I think she's back. Bella, wait! That's enough. Come on, settle down. Come on, settle down. Good girl, settle down. I think that's what she's barking at. But my plan is to still stay here, not here, but closer to the car tonight. Like I said, if I need to get back, then obviously I will. But I think as long as they get her back on her feet and then she's back in her room and we know that she's being looked after, because there's nothing that I can do. There's nothing I can do there. It's a difficult one, really. I don't want to sound cold and heartless. You know, mum's the most important thing in the world to me, but you know, sometimes you've just got to... Bella! Oi! You've also got to kind of think, what would my mum want me to do? Would she want me... I mean, obviously, if I need to run back, then I run back. But would my mum want me running back? It's like she said the other day, she's had her life, get out and go and enjoy, Bella, come on, that's enough. Thank you. Good girl. And enjoy what you're doing. So as long as she's okay, and it kind of works out that she's, if she's admitted, then there's nothing I can do there anyway. What am I going to do? Go in and, you know, say hello for a minute, and then, you know. Anyway, we'll see what the outcome is. But I've got quite a bit packed up. I'm heading back tomorrow. I'll get going in the morning. I'll be back lunchtime. And unless she... I had a message from social services saying that they probably won't admit, because like I said, if they can get back on her feet and she's okay. And we had a doctor out a couple of days ago, and I've checked all her vitals. Oxygen was like 98%, blood pressure was like 129 over something, the heart rate was like 75 or something. So all the vitals were, you know, were decent. So I'd be, going by what social services have said in their message, I'd be surprised if she was admitted. And as long as she's coherent enough, I can't imagine a mum, yeah, I'll pop into hospital, yeah, that's fine. I don't see that happening. You know, obviously she's, if they sort of think, no, she has to be admitted, then then they'd probably take her in. But I suspect they will probably try and get her on her feet and back into her room again, maybe tie her to the bed or something. Apparently she'd have tried to go outside, because her mobility has declined a bit the last couple of weeks. She's not been as steady and stable, so she has been more restricted to the bedroom. But when she sort of properly gets some sleep, then she does get a little bit of strength in her little legs. And I think she must have had a little bit of strength in her legs to get to the bathroom. And of course the stairs are next to the bathroom, so I think she got downstairs, which she hasn't got downstairs by herself for a while, well, a few days really. And then I think she wanted to go outside. Anyway, I'm basically kind of just lingering here, you know, for a bit, because like I said, I don't want to. I'll pack up a little bit more. I'll get this tent put down. It's 11:30, and then I'll probably get the rest of this put away, and then just head over to the edge of the tor just over there. But I know when I looked at my phone yesterday, once you get down there into the valley, there's no signal, so I'm better off just hanging up here until I hear from the ambulance. And I've not heard anything yet, so I would assume that once they've figured out what they're doing, that they would get back to me. Yeah, so what can you do? No, you've got to be philosophical, you know. I don't go along with this let's all be sad and miserable thing. There's enough of that in life. I think you know, the inevitable is going to happen at some point. You know, I mean, I'm in my 50s, they're in their 80s, they're both still around. You know, how many kids, you know, in their 50s have still got both parents? You know, so we've done remarkably well, you know, really, in that regard. But I guess one day the inevitable will happen, and you've just got to get on and deal with it, I suppose. Anyway, I'm going to carry on packing up here, and we'll catch up soon. Okay, well, it's coming up to be 1 o'clock soon, so I'm going to get off this hill now. I've not heard anything at all from anyone, and the ambulance people said that they would be in touch. Well, actually, I heard from social services. They messaged to say that they'd been in touch with the ambulance people and that they probably would not admit my mum. And that was an hour or more ago, and I've not heard anything since then. So I'm going to kind of go on the assumption that no news is good news, as it were, and just get off this hill. There's probably no signal down there. I've sent a message to a social services person. It's ironic, isn't it? You don't hear anything from them, you lose all contact with social services, and then they get back in contact again just as all this kicks off. Mind you, I think they got in touch because the mum was getting a bit more sleepy, as it were. But anyway, yeah, we've got a contact now. So I've put the camera up here. I can't get it off one-handed, and I'm probably going to, I had it a fraction lower. Bella, this way, come on, this way. Right, well, there's some horses, so she didn't bark at them. This way, come on, this way, come on. We don't want to be putting an edit in, come on, an edit in of you having pony dinner. Ow, oh, fuck my legs. Pony dinner or anything. Come on, this way. Come on, leave it. That's good. We'll watch out for those sheep down there. We'll give them a wide berth. Come on, this way. Good girl. Yeah, very good. We'll give them a wide berth, which we want to anyway, because we want, they're over there. Come on. Don't let me down at the last minute. There's one sheep there, and then there's a load more over there. So let's see what that, let's keep an eye on that. I think by the time I get down there he would have joined his friends, hopefully. So we'll kind of see, keep an eye on that. Yeah, we've got post those horses. Yeah, so we'll lose the signal just down there for an hour or so, I guess, until we're back up the other side. But I emailed the social security bloke. I think it's the adult care thing, to say I got to get off this. I got to get off this hill now. I can't stay up here all day. And I've come probably the worst bit. I should have gone round there. Let's do that. Yeah, so I think the camera works okay here. I think I just need it because it's right next to my head there. So I did try it a little bit lower, like just under the sternum strap, and that seemed not really too low, but it just seemed lower. And I thought, well, I'll raise it an inch, but steady, Bella. But I think it's a bit too high now, so I will in future, I think, just a little bit lower. I'm not going to mess around now. Let's get off this hill and down. And we just got down to the water, and I was feeling peckish, so I thought, well, before we cross and get my feet any wetter, although they're already quite wet from the bogs, I thought, before we cross here, let's get some food in me and a drink, and I'll top up my water. I had one of these Phoenix bar. I had to I had to buy them. They're quite expensive, I have to say. They're not the cheapest, but as a one hit, it's like 500 calories in one bar. Although, to be fair, you could get 2 Trek bars for a fraction of the price if you get them in the supermarket. And you know, and then they're fine. What is this recording? Yeah. The sun's shining on it so much, couldn't tell if it was recording. Yeah, I must admit, the Trek bars that you can get in the supermarket are cheaper, and I think have pretty much exactly the same calorific fat content. The ingredients aren't that much different, but I do like the Phoenix bars. They're a convenient, like just one pack, just open it. You do need a drink with them, but yeah, they're expensive, but it is something that is handy now and again. It's just something a bit different too. I've lowered the strap for the camera, so we'll kind of see. I think it'll be better down there. I've also put a bit of cord around the top of the pack there, just to hold the solar panel. Oh God, oh lovely, oh lovely, just what we wanted. A wet, wet soggy, wet soggy. Look at a bitch has made Daddy wet between the legs. Bella, behave. Oh, Bella, Wella. Oh, no, you fell off now. Oh, Bella. Oh, Bella Wella. Bella Wella. Bella Wella. Oh. Bella Wella. Bella Wella. Bella Wella. Oh, we got to keep going. Bella Wella. Oh, Bella. I was going to take my shirt off, but I might just... I'm kind of comfortable. I'm kind of thinking I will take it off, I think, actually. Take this merino off and then just walk in the... Could walk in just the merino, but pockets are handy. I've got my phone's in there and something in that pocket there. Well, welcome into camp. Where to start? Okay. Well, it's probably a good job that I didn't rush home. I didn't think there was a real need. I think it would have been obvious if there was, or they would have had that. You would have had that gut feeling that, oh, you better get back. Anyway, parents. Mum's fine. She's in hospital. She's waiting to be seen by the doctor. I've spoken to her. She said that she wants to come home. I said, well, see the doctor, and then, you know, hopefully, you know, they will let you out tomorrow. Hopefully. I mean, obviously they won't let her out tonight. But talking to her, she could have been at home and I wouldn't have known any different. So what she did, because she remembers what she did. She doesn't remember how she ended up on the floor, but I think we can deduce what happened and how she ended up on the floor. The last week or so, she hasn't got downstairs as much as normal because she's been a bit too unstable on her legs to get her downstairs. It's literally just the last couple of weeks, you know, if that. So it's kind of a bit early to think of stair lift and that type of thing, but obviously that's something to look into, you know, at some point. But anyway, she's so utterly stubborn that the last couple of days, as I say, she went downstairs with me on Saturday, because I was there Saturday. So she went downstairs Saturday, and I thought she was going to go downstairs Sunday when I was coming here, but she was quite weak on Sunday, so she didn't go downstairs on the Sunday. So she stayed upstairs, and she was obviously upstairs. So that was Sunday. She was obviously upstairs yesterday, Monday. So today's Tuesday. So last night, and she hasn't been able to stand to get to the bathroom for a couple of days. Although one day she got to the bathroom. I think bloody mindedness just keeps her going. Anyway, she must have got a little bit of strength back because she wanted to go downstairs. So she got to the stairs. She didn't fall down, so don't worry. But she got to the stairs and she went down on her bum. How she was able, she must have gone down a couple of steps and then got down on her bum, and then she says she went downstairs on her backside. My guess is I don't think she was able to lift herself back up again once she was downstairs, because she does it unless she's at a good sitting height. I think she struggles to get up. I think that's part of her weakness problem at the moment. So if she'd have just stayed in bed or gone to the bathroom and gone back to bed, then I don't think she would have ended up on the floor downstairs. I think she went downstairs on a bum, got to the bottom of the stairs and couldn't get back up again. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Anyway, I've spoken to her said she's fine, she wants to come home. I think the nurses or something were there to try and walk her and see how her walking is. So we'll see her tomorrow, either at home if they bring her home, or you know, they might keep her in a day or two for observations. But I think they'll have a fight. I think they'll have a fight on their hands to keep her in for very long. She's not someone that will be wanting to stay in hospital, that is for sure. So anyway, that's where we are there. So we've set up camp. I've made my way. Time now is 5:20. I kind of made my way back steadily. I'm not far from the car. This is my fairly close to the car pitch here. I'm in Jake's spot. Another Jake who I bumped into the other day here. I saw him camped here, so I went further up. Oh, I've lost my train of thought and I've got a headache now. Yeah, so like I said, I started, obviously left there about 1, because I thought, was it 12:1. I thought, well, I need to get going. I don't want to be stuck up there so long. So, of course, on the way back, I've been, you know, making phone calls and things like that, trying to get information. And anyway, I've just in the last half hour spoken to Mum, and yeah, she's fine. Oh, well, I'm gonna have a cup of tea, because nothing gets in the way of a cup of tea. That's the kettle on. That's an update on Mum. I've taken my socks off, let my feet dry a bit. I can put those on for walking around camp, because obviously my shoes are damp, wet. I'll probably take these trousers. Actually, just the bottoms are wet, so I'll get this tea on. I think my feet are still a bit damp. It's quite mild. The temperature last night, obviously because everything froze, my shoes froze, Bella's water froze. It was quite cold last night, but once the sun came up, it's been quite mild. I put this jacket on because I was standing around outside. I basically got here and I just kind of waited here for about an hour, well, not that long, half an hour. Made a couple of phone calls, made sure that things were in hand. If I needed to get back, then obviously, you know, I could have done. But you know, she's fine. So I'm going to relax here this evening, and then go home tomorrow and see where we are. Anyway, I'm gonna have this cup of tea in my head. But it's beautiful weather though. Really is very nice. We've been very, very lucky with the weather these couple of days or so. Couldn't have asked for better weather. It's been clear, blue skies, so unusual. It makes such a change though from all that wind and rain and everything, but finally clear blue sky, very nice. Alright, but we're nice and cozy. We've got the shelter up. While I was trying to get through to the old hospital, I was getting the shelter up. I thought, well, I won't unpack anything. I'll get this up because I could collapse this down in no time. But I thought, let's just get the shelter up. While I was, please wait, please wait. So I thought, okay, while I'm waiting, I'll put the shelter up. So I got the shelter up, and then I spoke to her, and then I thought, right, that's it. And Mum, because obviously she knows I take glucosamine for my knees and my vitamin tablets and things. Have you taken your tablets yet? She says. Oh my God. But your mum in hospital, is she worrying about whether I've taken my vitamin tablets? Oh dear. I tell you though, you got to laugh and smile about these things. You really have. You've really got I pity, I really genuinely, and I know someone far too close, far too close, who struggles with that, and it's tough, you know. I really pity those that really struggle upstairs. Can't imagine it. These people that cry because they've had a bad day. But you know, when you really have, you know, difficulties and things, anyway. But yeah, you've got to try and keep positive. Otherwise, you just get into a world of despair and despondency, and I don't see the point of that. Life is difficult and challenging enough without getting down in the dumps. Anyway, I'm gonna have a cup of tea. So I brought this set up because I was coming heavy with that and the solar panel. I didn't really say anything about the solar panel, have I? It felt a lot good. But because I've come heavy with that, then I've come lightweight with cooking system. Oh, bloody hell. Nice cup of tea. You can't beat a nice cup of tea. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to... oh, fuck. Don, your fault. I'm going to unpack a bit. I just blame Don every time now. I'm going to unpack it. I'm going to have this tea. I'm going to unpack a bit. Get my bed blown up and chill out.